This is intended for a mature audience only. Bitches.
Welcome, my fellow deviants, to Raw and Uncut. I'm Randy, and I'm joined by
Meg.
Izzy.
And for those of you just joining us, this is three friends in this podcast pushing the boundaries of social norms and bringing them to you. Our safe word for this episode is going to be sword. I knew
That's
it.
a whip.
I knew it. That's a whip.
That's a lightsaber.
That's a
Sorry.
lightsaber.
I can't make the sound.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
There we go. That's a little bit better.
Okay.
Whoosh. Is that what you said?
Yeah. We're going with that. We're sticking with
All
it.
right,
Moving.
good. So today we're going to be looking at fetishes. We're going to keep it in a broad spectral lens. We're just not going to get too deep into fetishes because we are eventually going to break into single episodes revolved around different types of fetishes. So we're going, like I said, we're going to keep it very broad and not get into any particular one or the
We're
other.
dipping our toes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's like we're fetish curious.
When I dip my toe, I just imagine. Just that's. This is the fetish world?
So just y'all know, he did start drinking and he's about halfway through a smash right now.
I'm
So-
actually done.
Oh,
Am I done? No, I got a little bit
oh,
more.
he's almost done with it. That's why. So from the straight world into the gay world and everywhere in between, there's a variety of fetishes out there, which we all enjoy. Some of us more than others.
Ooh,
Mhm.
I
So,
want to know.
you know, what kind of fetishes are out there that you like?
Damn, we're just starting off raw dogging it. Like,
Yeah.
what's your favorite?
So, I mean, how do you feel about fetishes?
How do I feel about fetishes? They can be fun, of course. Like, I think everyone likes to play a little bit with taboo. Like, you know,
Well, I think that's what
things
makes sex fun too.
Yeah, you and then the fetish world kind of plays on that, like, ooh, this is out of the ordinary, and it turn on, obviously, but I think it can be very fun. Just definitely got to open up that discussion with people too. You can't just spring it on them.
Right. I think that, you know, it's important to know that there's nothing wrong with a good fetish, you know, because like you said, it does spice things up. It does keep things interesting, you know. And I can say that being in the bisexual realm that I'm in exposes me to a lot of different fetishes on both sides of the fence, you know, and keeps me from being vanilla, you know.
Damn, so I think we should start with you. What's your
You know,
fetishes?
What about you, Meg? How do you feel about fetishes?
I think they have a place. I'm
Don't tell me you're a 10 toes up, 10 toes down kind of girl.
no, I'm definitely not. But
I've heard it.
but
I've seen it.
there are some out there that are extremely border that I would say.
Oh, 100%. I think there's fetishes out there that are just like, no, shut it down.
But even for the fetish world, there are some that are still even branded as a fetish that
Is it really?
go a little too far.
Oh, yeah,
What do you mean?
absolutely.
So
Like what? Because, you know,
There's
I'm gonna
extremes.
play devil's advocate here, you know, and be like, you know, just because you might say that it's extreme for you doesn't mean that it's extreme for them. You know, for example, like for me personally, like an extreme fetish that I don't know that I could ever get into is ABDLs, adult baby diaper lovers. You know, I'm not knocking them. I just know it's not for me, but I can understand what turns them on by it.
You can, well, I can't understand. So, what is the turn on factor for that?
What, for
Yeah,
ABDLs?
I never understood it.
I personally don't know what the turn on factor is because I wouldn't have that issue.
I can imagine you with your
I can't say that I've never actually been in an adult diaper.
Do you want to pacify?
I did go to a New Year's party once as the New Year's baby.
Ah, there we go. That was your gateway.
So, but and like I said though, I personally can't sit here and say like what would turn me on in that world because I'm not part of it. But I will say this for our listeners out there is we do plan to have an episode where we have somebody come in and discuss ABDLs with us and what they like. And
You have a friend that,
yeah. So we do have somebody lined
and
up.
he's willing to
Yeah.
Wow, I can't wait.
So, I know Izzy's going to have a ton of questions. And who knows, maybe by the end of the episode, he'll turn Izzy and Izzy will be running around
Change
here.
my fucking diapers.
Mario diapers.
Yeah.
But I mean, back to what you were saying, like, what is extreme for,
So, there's the incest one.
Ooh.
Okay. There's the necrophilia one.
Yeah. I mean,
There are,
those are definitely extremes. They're also illegal in some places.
right?
I was thinking more like people that are into that fetish are more into the fantasy of it.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
age play.
And that's what I'm.
I would hope, yes.
You would hope.
That's the question, the big
I can
question
honestly
mark.
sit here and say I've never fantasized about having sex with my brothers.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No. Nope.
If y'all are listening to this, now there's no fantasy there
Yeah.
whatsoever.
But I understand that point. There is that extreme
Have you?
in the fetish world. Ew.
I've seen your
I've
brothers.
had it grosses me out too because I would have friends that'll be like, "Oh, your brothers are so hot." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here.
Well, they're not bad looking.
Get the fuck out of here." But yeah, there's definitely the extreme side.
I mean, if that is your thing, that is your thing. I have a hard time.
Yeah. I mean, again, I
it.
guess it comes back to like, I can kind of see where you're like, it's an extreme,
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I also don't want to say that, it's an abomination or something like that, because
you can't help what you
what-
like.
what they're into, we don't understand what draws them to that.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm not drawn to it.
Right.
I'm not drawn to incest play.
Right.
Maybe a little bit of the daddy son role playing.
That's the age play,
That's
though,
more
right?
the BDSM type
Yeah.
play than it is.
Maybe that daddy son role play, but I actually don't want to have sex with my father.
Yeah.
So you'd be the one calling the other person daddy?
No,
Ooh,
they
you
call
the
me
son?
daddy.
No.
They've all seen my pictures on Facebook and on our website. They know that I am definitely a daddy.
I had a grown ass man call me daddy while I was dicking them down. I'm talking about like he gives daddy vibes, I would say. I'm like, that don't mean nothing. Just because you got a beard and you're bald don't mean nothing. You be calling people daddy. Calling them a sweetheart.
Call him Poppy.
Call him Poppy. Oh, I hate it. I hate it when people call me
So we're gonna
Poppy.
for the rest of the episode, we're gonna call him Poppy.
Okay.
I don't know why that threw me back to trolls. Isn't there one named that?
Papa
Poppy.
Smurf.
Oh, there. No, I'm thinking the trolls.
Not,
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about trolls.
I don't know.
So, all right. So then, is there a particular fetish that you're drawn to?
Why are y'all looking at me?
We're hoping you'll just break the ice and start for us.
I mean,
God
I'll break the ice
damn.
if you want.
Okay, you go.
So for me, there's two fetishes that I'm particularly drawn to. I like jock straps.
Okay.
Um,
Do you
and-
like smelling it?
Yes.
Licking it?
Licking it.
I'm getting the details for the people, the fellow deviants.
He's like, you want to sleep with it on your pillow?
Yeah, do you wear it on your face?
Sometimes.
Okay, damn.
He's trying, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get me to use that safe word. I will not use that safe word. There may come a moment.
Somebody.
And then the other thing that I'm drawn to is exhibitionism. Like
That's the outdoors.
I am very much drawn to like having sex either with people watching or in a public space.
That's
And
voyeurism, though. The public one.
the voyeurism is people watching.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's like the thrill of getting caught, which is kind of funny because I'm actually the guy who actually catches people having sex in parks. But, and I think that exhibitionism gets a bad rap at times because people automatically think that, oh, you just go to the park and expose yourself to whoever. Like, and not all the time is that true. Yeah, it does happen. But there is that that establishment. Like, I could have a conversation with you and say, hey, let's meet up in a park. It's two consenting adults. You know, so I'm drawn to that. And then, like I said, I am drawn to jock straps. I love seeing them on somebody else. I'll even wear them to work under my uniform.
Oh wow!
Which
now everybody knows.
Now when they see me in public, they're gonna be like,
"Is he wearing a jock?
Is he wearing a jock strap?"
Perky butt.
I've often been like, you know, I hope that I never get into like an issue where I have to get like my pants cut off at work by one of the EMS workers.
Oh my God, easy access.
Right? Like, you know, but to me, like a jock strap on a person or even on myself is very sexy and arousing. One of the things that I will say for me is like, people tend to think like, oh, they wear a jock strap, they must be a bottom. Like you were just saying, easy access.
Yeah.
Easy Izzy, right?
Goodbye.
But believe it or not, I mean, a lot of tops rock, you know, jock straps and stuff like that just because they like the way that they feel on them, you know, and like I said, I'm turned on by a jock strap. So those are my two fetishes that I'm kind of drawn to. What about you, Izzy?
I'm thinking
Easy Izzy.
Stop. Let's see. Going through the catalog.
Damn, you got that many fetishes?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, this one's good. Let me pull this one out. I'm a messy guy I like seeing, I'm a visual person, so like seeing a guy come.
I didn't know where you were going with the whole I'm a messy guy. So you were going to say you like to shit the bed.
Let me finish. Ew, no. But like a dude like coming and then coming all over themselves. Oh.
Do you like them to come over you?
Yeah, that too. Like everybody's like, come inside me. No, bitch. Do it all over. Make a mess. That's hot. I mean, the whole like doing it in whatever. And sometimes I do like the whole subplay, you know, letting go a little bit. So like being tied down and stuff like that, that can be really arousing.
Do you like to be choked?
Lightly. Don't strangle me. Don't take me out. Don't make me black out. And I know that's a thing too, where it's like you get the person to the verge of like, kind of like, it's almost like a high. They black out and come back into it. You've heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not alone. But yeah, I think I don't have that many extreme ones. That's it.
So, well, we'll come back to that. Megan's sitting over here like a church mouse.
She's browsing around. It's like this is light. This is diet. It's fetish.
Well, it's either that or she's like, to me, it's almost like she's like, did they forget about me? Please forget about me.
Yeah,
Please forget about me.
In her corner.
So, Megan, what about your fetishes? I mean, I know some of them, but
so I mostly deal a lot in the BDSM, Dom versus Sub world. My favorites, I do like to be choked, not out, but close.
I've seen the marks.
Yeah. I like biting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
More specific areas, the better.
But how hard are we talking about here? Like leave marks bite or like playful bites?
No, like,
ooh, you got to feel it.
I got to feel it.
Okay. Yeah, like she wants the bruises for like a week.
And where is there a preferred spot?
I do prefer my upper body.
Okay. I like my ass cheek.
The more fat, the more it hurts for a longer time. So I kind of.
Oh no, not that hard though. Like
no,
that's too much.
Yeah, for me. I am okay with light blood play.
Okay.
Should they bite me hard enough where I bleed, I'm okay with that.
No, I couldn't. I'm too squeamish.
Kind of leads into the whole fantasy type role play where you are taking on those fantasy roles such as vampires, werewolves, things.
So would you get into like, let's say, the whole role play where like someone's breaking into your house kind of deal?
No. So when it comes to like actual human possibilities, such as like the rape fetish that there is, or the intruder fetish, those I can't do. It has to be completely
fantasy.
It's funny you say that, because actually I'm going to tell a story about that here coming up in this episode.
Yeah.
Did you break into someone's house?
I'll tell the story here shortly.
Okay.
So those are just a few. Yeah.
Okay.
So now that brings up the question though, is like, what is the difference between a kink and a fetish?
Is there a difference?
Is there a difference in between kinks and fetishes, or are they the same? You know,
I feel like they're used interchangeably. Like,
well, I think that commonly they are, but I mean, in my opinion, I think there is. You know, just for me, for example, like to me, a kink is more of a sexual attraction, whereas a fetish is something that is sought after during each sexual encounter. So,
like it's a need. A fetish is a need, while a kink is like an attraction.
Kind of. So like for me, like I'm attracted to men in jock straps. I like to play with jock straps and stuff like that. I think that's more of a kink. Whereas more of a fetish to me would be like the exhibitionism. If that makes sense.
All right.
You know, I mean, what do you think, Megan?
Yeah, so I would talking about social norms, a kink is any item that would fall outside of what we would consider a normal social boundary. So if it's something that not everybody is quote unquote supposed to be like or like, is considered a kink. Where a fetish is something a kink could expose yourself into, could lead to you
finding a fetish.
Completing a fetish, correct?
It,
yes, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like I think that like a kink is like the rest stop on the highway to fetish.
Yeah,
you know.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely changed my way of thinking of like the kink and the fetish.
I mean, and maybe other people out there have a different opinions, and we'd love to hear them. I mean, they're welcome to send them to us, and you know, we'll definitely reply to them and stuff like that, and discuss them in a future episode if we need to.
Open up to us. Come on.
So, have you ever been asked? What's the wildest fetish that you've ever been asked to join?
Wildest. I think I've covered this too, where there's always the poop fetish. Like that one is hard to top.
Well, I mean, we did talk about that in sexual requests and stuff like that, but like a fetish, like, you know, like you were saying, incest play, rape play, intruder play.
That's a lot. I mean, I had a guy with a foot fetish, and he wanted to use my feet to masturbate.
I actually went to a call one time where this guy was passed out. He was drunk, and he woke up to his buddy like holding his feet together, and like as he woke up, like the dude was fucking his feet and came all over his feet. And they called the cops.
Oh my God, how do you wake up to that? Like so he just was asleep long enough for this guy to take, I'm assuming the shoes were already off, but like to really work it a little bit,
right? To
come up. So you slept and woke up for the climax,
right?
Wow.
It's like,
no, I would call the cops too. That is wrong. But the foot fetish guy, like, I let him do it. I was like, this ain't too bad. But it didn't turn me on. It felt awkward a bit. But for him, it was a thing. Like, he really enjoyed feet. And I didn't mind when the massages came into play. I was like, oh, snap. This is where I get off at. Like, massage my feet and stuff. But, let me see. What other... I think I already discussed too the whole like the guy that wanted me to come on food so he can eat it. That one was a little trippy, but I was like, no, I think I'm gonna skip on this one. But after the jury, after you guys came after me, I'm like, maybe I should have.
Well, that's a kink that went into a fetish, because
there
is such a fetish as in what eater feeder.
Yeah,
I think
kind of gave off that vibe.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of like people like to feed. Like,
Yeah, you feed
Yeah.
them and they enjoy being.
yeah. So, for me, the wildest fetish that I was asked to be a part of was that rape fetish.
Yeah.
So,
A rape fetish?
yeah. So that was the wildest fetish that I actually was asked to be a part of.
So they wanted you to break into their house.
They wanted me to basically break into their house and rape them.
Could you do it?
Did you do it?
No. I'll just go ahead and tell you the story now, because I was going to save it till the end when we have story time. But so I was on an app, well, actually more of a website because it was before apps.
This is Craigslist days.
It was Craigslist days. But anyway, I was on and we were having a conversation, and basically this guy wanted me to sneak through his bedroom window, tie him up, duct tape him, tie him up, and rape him, all while his boyfriend was in the other room.
Wow.
And then once I was done, I was to leave him tied up and duct taped for his boyfriend to find.
To finish the job.
So now I don't know. I left it at that. I didn't go do it. But
That's too shady.
I've often wondered, like, was the boyfriend involved? You know, did he know that this was going to happen?
Yeah, that's to do that with strangers. I can only imagine doing that as a couple. Like, ooh, let's play this dark fantasy real quick. But you guys already have established trust.
Right.
So it's not really I know if I say stop, it's going to stop. You
Right.
know, not with a complete stranger.
Yeah, you just remember, duct tape turns no into
Exactly. But no duct tape. Use that safe word.
So, but of course I didn't do that, for obvious reasons. Number one, I'm not sneaking through somebody's bedroom window to have sex,
But like if you were would you do it with someone you trust?
Now, if I was in a relationship with somebody and they're like, hey, I'm going to go upstairs and lay down, and, at some point tonight, whenever you come home from work or something like that, I want you to sneak in and rape me.
Okay.
Like, that is probably a possibility.
Sure.
So I'm going to go upstairs right now. The pod is over. I'm messing around. Look at him. He's smirking.
Izzy is now all the way through his first smash. So, but I don't think I could ever do it with a perfect stranger like that,
A perfect. Yeah, that's too much.
Because you
could
always
be
run the risk, though. Like if let's say I do decide to do it and I snuck through the bedroom window, you always run the risk of the boyfriend actually not knowing.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, now you're being chased.
Yeah.
It's a complete setup.
Yeah.
It could be.
Set up, yeah.
So I never did it. But I often wondered, like, was the boyfriend involved? Kind of thing. So
Most likely. I would imagine.
I would hope so if he was in the living room.
Yeah. Because some people like to hear stories about, oops, sorry, that was me. Stories about their significant other having sex with other people. Like they enjoy, it's erotic to them.
Yeah. So, I actually have a friend who enjoys having sex with someone else in front of his ex's house in the car. So
Exes?
he will go to his ex's house and have sex with somebody in a car in front of their house.
Oh, he's just being vindictive.
Yeah.
That's
but
a
he
big
enjoys
move.
it. So
Ooh. What's going on in his head?
I'm like, hey, to each their own.
Yeah.
What about you, Megan? What's your wildest fetish that you've ever been asked to join or been in? Because we know you've been in a few.
In the beginning, I was very curious about the Watcher world. So I kind of...
And now, just for our listeners who don't know, that's somebody who just basically sits there and watches people have sex, right?
Correct. So, yep. So I would...
So voyeurism.
Voyeurism. Yep. It's always on it's usually a couple. It's always on their terms. I would be in a closet, or I would be sitting there in a chair right beside the bed. And I would just watch them have sex.
I've never actually
Not even jerk off.
like
or
I've
anything?
I've heard of the voyeurism, but I've never actually thought about like the fact that you could watch from a closet.
Yeah, I mean, it's really what the couple. It was the first time, and they felt more comfortable when I was in the closet, which was fine with me.
Isn't that a song by R. Kelly, right? In the closet.
Yeah,
God.
but
Now I'm in the closet.
so it was really. It's really whatever they need.
Well, damn. Randy just hit the table.
That wasn't my foot.
Whether it's they're doing it because they need to be able to feel like somebody's watching them, like they were outside or some sort.
Well, I think for me, like the public space type thing is like just the thrill of like
Almost getting caught.
almost getting caught,
Yeah.
which is even, like I said earlier, is like even more fun now that I'm the actual one that's supposed to be catching
them. Yeah. And then, it wasn't about me. It was about me getting off or me doing anything to myself. It was just me watching them have sex. It was like live porn for me.
Interesting.
It wasn't bad.
I've done porn, so
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the video?
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me?
No.
The people want to know.
Well, no.
The people.
Maybe
Our
in a
fellow
future,
deviants.
maybe in a future episode, but that's not about fetishes right now.
I'm going to need you guys to email this. Subscribe.
That was back in my younger days in my Navy uniform.
Navy uniform too? Oh my gosh. So if you were caught, would you get fired?
Well, yeah, because I was also back during Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Oh, so this is a video where they clipped your head most likely. It's
No.
from the...
My face is very visible in it.
Where is it?
So
Someone out there find it.
I can tell you this: there are people that have looked for it and have not been able to find it yet.
We'll see.
Now Izzy's going to be combing all the porn sites.
Cybersecurity expert on the porn sites.
Pornhub no longer works in Virginia. Just saying.
No, you have to do the either facial recognition or some other crap
I don't know. But anyway, back to fetishes. So watchers.
Yep. So that was the...
But is that the most wildest one?
yeah. I mean,
That is pretty wild, though.
I tend to
sit.
see you doing a little more than that, though.
I've had my...
See,
most
but
of my
then
world
again-
is Dom sub, which
Well,
is
then
not...
as I was getting ready to say, certain parts of the Dom sub world to me would be wilder than... Because there are things that, I mean, in the Dom sub world that could be wilder than just watching. You know, to me, that's kind of a vanilla fetish.
I don't know about that. That's not very vanilla to me.
Somebody just sitting there watching?
In the closet?
Well, maybe not
Well,
in the closet, but I mean, if they're just sitting at a chair in the corner of the room while you and I are fucking.
That's not vanilla to me.
I didn't say it was vanilla. I'm just saying it's vanilla for the fetish world.
Oh, for the fetish world? Okay. It's light.
It's a start. Yeah. It's a start into the different worlds. I don't know. Yeah. Because, I mean, with BDSM, they have their own tangents. You got different... you've got rope bunnies, you've got degenerates, you've got the degradation, you've got, the asphyxiation, you have ball play, there's like
Ball play.
ball gag play.
Oh, I thought you were smashing someone's balls or something.
Actually, that is a fetish.
Oh, God.
Caged is another one.
I've known some caged guys.
Yeah. I mean,
I think I told that story once already, haven't I?
Yes.
About the guy who was
Yeah.
caged and quit working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that pup play? I think we covered that.
Pup play is another one that's also prevalent in BDSM. I had one, when I switched roles, I had one sub who could not get aroused at all until he was in leash and collar.
Do you guys ever wear masks? Is
Always
that
that
a thing?
Always curious when it comes to pup play. Like, do they sit there and lick themselves?
I don't
imagine.
know.
I'm a cat. Meow.
Don't know.
When we're talking pup play, not
Yeah,
pussy play.
But I'm a... Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never come across the true pup, so I don't know.
We're planning to do an episode with pup play, so maybe that's a question we can jot down and ask
Later.
Okay.
Yep.
Tossing it down the road.
right? So do you want to know up front if there's a fetish, or like is it something that you want to be surprised with as you go along?
No, I would not want a surprise with fetishes.
I think it would need to be an agreed upon, because if it's not a fetish that your partner's comfortable with administering, you're going to have a problem anyway.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think it's
Yeah, I think
definitely
so.
an
I
upfront
just
thing.
know from being in the gay culture that tends to be like one of the first questions out the gate is like,
Yep.
what are you into?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that they keep it generalized for the reason because they want to see what you're actually into. When intended, it starts off as like, are you a top or a bottom?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's like, what else are you into? You know, and it's so, I think it's more so they're trying to see how far down the road you'll go into certain things.
Yeah, and from my experience, I don't know if this is for you, but like someone has to be the direct one to open up that dialogue. And as soon as that person opens it up, it kind of unleashes the floodgates too.
Right. And you are the grinder queen. So,
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, we're not going to tiptoe here. This is what I like.
right. So, I mean, we will divert to you on this one when it comes to, you know, opening up about things on Grindr. And
Oh man, I mean,
You're the
Grindr, if
expert.
it's strictly hookups, everybody knows why they're there. It's without, like, some people even put it in their bios what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So you
And that's what I'm saying is,
immediately
like,
know.
I kind of go back and forth on it though, because like for me, I'd like to know what you're into up front,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, like I do like the surprise of it a little.
Ooh.
So I mean, I don't know how to explain. Like,
So the category.
yeah. So
But
kind of
not
give me the
the
category, but
chapters.
don't tell me the actual what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can kind of see that.
You know, and like, for example, you know, I don't mind a little light choking either,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, I don't want to be choked out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't mind a little biting,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want you to leave marks above my collarbone,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of stuff
You're
like
in
that.
the middle, like not too much, not too little.
Right.
Just
I'm
Right in
right.
between.
the Goldilocks
Yeah,
of
the
the gay world.
Goldilocks. Yeah. Just skipping along.
I'm the Goldilocks.
Where's his porridge?
This ass is just right.
Not too big, not too little. Just enough pumps.
So, but yeah, so I mean, for me, I just like to know, you know, at least put us on the map of what you want. You know, we can figure out the roads on how to get there. So,
And especially if you're wanting a relationship out of it too, that needs to be an open dialogue. I don't know why people tiptoe around sexual conversations sometimes.
I think that it goes back to the whole social norms discussion. Like
Yeah.
people just, I mean, you're starting to see a shift in it, but people have just grown a culture and custom to not having conversations about what you do outside the bed or in the bedroom, outside the bedroom. And that's what we are here for.
Yeah.
Let's have that discussion, you know, and it should be had. I'm not saying, you know, you should be having that conversation, you know, with your partner. It's okay to even have that conversation amongst friends,
Yeah.
you know. Who knows? You might give somebody an idea. It doesn't say that you want to have sex with them or you want to take them upstairs and, you know, bang their brains out, but you never know.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what we are here for in this podcast, is to start pushing that boundary for you, to help you open up and push your own boundaries. So, but back to fetishes. Do you guys have any stories on fetishes?
Fetishes. I gave a lot away with my stuff. You haven't really. What fetishes have you given?
I just told
Randy?
you the story about my rape fetish that I was
Yeah,
asked
but
to
it
be a
wasn't.
part
I
of.
want to hear one that actually you participated in, because I've given participation. I was in class. I was like, here I am.
Well, I mean, the fetishes that I'm drawn to are, like I said, are exhibitionism. I like having sex in public spaces. And
Have you ever had one where someone talked you into it?
oh yeah,
What were those?
like from in the beginning, I was like attracted to it, but I wasn't, because of what, you know, the fact of being in the military and stuff like that. I was very shy and timid about doing it and cautious. And then it would start, like it started off with just like sex in the car
Okay.
kind of thing. But then it's grown to where I've done it in parks, done it in bathrooms.
Okay. So
One time I had sex literally in the bed of a truck under a blanket while in a parking lot of a bar while our friend was standing right beside the truck, and he never knew that we were actually having sex.
That's a lie. He knew. We're not playing them games. He knew what the fuck was going down. He was just pretending. He was spotting you. That's what he was doing.
That's kind of how I felt, like he was our lookout.
Yeah, that's what I would have been doing. I'm like, I'm just a
But it
spotter
was
right
like
now.
we were just laying there on our sides, and I was just hammering away.
Yeah. Good man. Good on him.
Mixing the mac and cheese.
Yeah. So what was what would you consider the most extreme fetish or kink you've entertained with someone else?
That I've actually entertained.
Yeah, you've actually engaged. You were like a part of it. And you don't necessarily have to have liked it. Maybe it was an experience where you're like, oh, I'm not going to do this again. Oh, let him think.
Let me marinate on that
Let him
one.
marinate. Yes. Why are your eyes so...
I'm preparing
Meg is
because I
right.
have no idea.
Oh my god.
I mean, it wasn't for me, but I have been on an X-rack.
An X-rack?
Yes.
Was he whipping you? Was
No.
it a guy or a girl?
It was a guy. So I was put onto an X-rack and essentially teased.
That's kind of hot though. I could see like tying a person down and teasing them.
Right.
Teasing.
I mean, it was all right, but it's not necessarily something that,
You want to do again?
I want to do again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what was the biggest turn off?
Just the fact that I was
exposure.
tied. I liked it, at least let me have a free hand.
Nah.
No,
Tie his ass down.
I'm cool with being tied down.
Of course you are.
Yeah. So, gag on the mic.
Izzy's over here giving head to his mic.
But okay, man.
What about you? What
Me,
about
the
your
most
wildest
extreme?
one that you've been in?
I've given a lot to our fellow deviants. They know a lot. Like
You're
I
the
was about
only
to
one-
come on a cupcake.
You're the only one at this table that's actually used a safe word. Just saying.
Exactly, because okay, damn, who am I? The most intense. I mean, I was tied down and stuff like that and choked out a little bit. But that wasn't as crazy as the one coming on. That for some reason that really threw me, like it was a left wing for me. Like, what? What do you want me to do?
So
And usually I'm very open about like fetishes and stuff like that. But I couldn't-
we'll just use my fetish, okay? So I'm into exhibition, right? What's the wildest place that you've ever had sex?
The wildest? Oh Lord. Lordy Lord.
In the back of an SUV filled with people.
Really?
Yeah.
Never
Like
really
every
seen-
seat was full.
I've
And
done it
we
on a school bus with people.
I was about to say I had my dick suck on a bus. I was in the back and it was dark. I'm pretty sure people knew. It was bad. Oh man. God forgive me. I'm messing.
I mean, I could just like write a book with places. On the back of a fire truck, in the back of an ambulance, on a boat,
On a boat? That would be fun to do.
Well, not really.
Motion
a boat.
on the
I guess a
ocean?
Navy ship.
I was going to say a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can have that one.
In the torpedo room on a Navy ship.
Mine was an empty berthing.
Yeah.
I did it in a theater.
I had him bent over the torpedoes.
What? You really torpedoed him. Mission accomplished.
Right? Yes. What else? I'm trying to think now. I mean, your typical parks, bathrooms, truck rest stops.
Oh, those are standard. like public bathrooms and stuff like that. In the woods. I think everyone's done like one in the wood experience.
I've honestly, I will say this: I've never had sex in my cop car, nor do I want to.
I'm gonna make that a mission. Like, let's say I get pulled over.
I've had I've had people. I've actually like rolled up on people, and they've offered to have sex with me as a cop.
Oh, I bet they trying it.
One time I was doing my rounds and I went to a park and I rolled up on this car. It was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was an SUV, and it had 2 sets of identical twin males, all 4 guys having sex in the car.
This is incest, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all.
Yeah.
I had to wrap my brain around that one because wow.
Yeah, all 4 of them naked in the car together.
So this brings up the uniform fetish, though. Like, is that a thing? That
Oh,
you can see
100%.
yourself getting into?
Oh, not me, no. No, when I come home and come out of my uniform, it's gone.
It's kind of hot, I would say. I can understand the idea, like a fire. It goes into role play almost,
Well,
like the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know that I would want to put my uniform on to have sex. Now, maybe if you catch me when I come through the door or something, I'll leave it on. But to actually put it on to have sex, like, that's a lot of work.
We're gonna leave it that one to the people, or
That's a,
deviants.
that's a lot of work to put on my uniform just to have sex, just to take it off within a few minutes, you know?
I mean, it's nice sometimes. It doesn't have to be all the time. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'd be one of those like catch me if you can kind of things in my uniform if you want to have sex with me in uniform, because once it's off, it's off. It ain't coming back on.
But straight out of work is kind of gross. Because I imagine you smell. You'd be smelly.
I don't smell, thank you.
Well, you say white people smell. So
I
I'm
am the
going with what you're-
exception to white people smelling.
Oh, you're the exception.
Exactly.
Okay, mashed potatoes.
Keep it up. So, but yeah, I mean, so do you have any fetish stories?
Oh my goodness. How many people did I dick down? I can't. Gotta go through the catalog. Are you
Going.
okay?
Yeah, keep going. You're good.
Okay.
I was, I thought I had to cough there for a second, but I don't. What about you, Meg? Any fetishes stories? Any more fetish stories?
I mean,
We're going to push more. I mean, we're all going to be part of a fetishes here,
yeah.
not at the same time.
I mean, we'll get into another episode. We'll get more into the BDSM, where I'll probably
Right.
have more to add. But
You
Who's
know.
been peed on? Who? Randy, why are you looking at me like that?
I've been peed on and I've peed on people. So,
Okay. Had to
But-
get that one out of the way. The deviants wanted to know. Telepathic communication.
but, you know, like I said, so we just kind of brushed over the topic of fetishes here. You know, we're going to get into specific fetishes. We're going to have episodes about specific fetishes coming up. If there's episodes that you want us to talk about with fetishes, you know, like the ABDLs or other fetishes out there, you want us to find somebody to bring on to discuss, and maybe it's because you're a part of that world, or maybe it's because you want to be a part of that world and you just want to know more about it.
And bring us your stories. Write in. Tell us about your. I mean, I would recommend you put in the subject line, "This is your story" or something like that.
Right.
Or title to let us know and indicate that you want to.
Right.
Talk
And
about it?
we're going to, like I said before, is we're going to have episodes coming up where we do questions and answers. And we're also going to have episodes where we read listeners' stories. So certainly send us your stories. If you have a story about something that we've talked about, send it to us. They're going to come an episode here very shortly where we read our listeners' stories out. And we won't use your name if you don't want us to. Just let us know.
Oh yes, please indicate.
You know, let us know if you're okay with us using your name, if you're not okay, and we'll read your story, you know, and go from there. So, did you have anything else, Megan?
nope, I think that's a great.
Yeah, we got it covered.
Right. So,
Send us your stories.
Right. Well, that about wraps up our episode of Raw and Uncut, my fellow deviants. If you want to know more about us or reach out to us, head over to our website or our Facebook page, which is attached in the show notes. Be sure to follow and share us on your favorite platforms and let your friends know about us. We're building that fan base. It's getting stronger every day that I've seen. But before we go, don't let anyone stifle your creativity in the bedroom. Curiosity and sexual exploration makes us much different and makes life much more fun. And as always, choose your safe word wisely.
Let me be on